initiator strategy.
So looking at the draft as a whole, I mean, does a certain side kind of stick out to you as favourable, or do you kind of feel that both have their merits in this situation?
It's pretty even.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it's going to be dependent on what the Shaker does for the Radiant side, and also the two roamers, of course. You have two jungle heroes, so the Chen and the Enchantress both. So like in the early game, it's going to be up to what kind of momentum each respective jungler can give to their team. And then as the game progresses, you're going to have blink timings that are very important for Yellow Submarine, and 4Clover are... And honestly, I think like Yellow Submarine probably have the more stable draft, in my opinion, because they have double blink heroes that are both really easy to use. Like Axe goes in first, and then you have the Shaker for backup in case things go poorly, right, after they get blink daggers. You got SF as a core. The Enchantress also transitions into a semi-core. You got Razor, who's your mech buyer, who's going to be farming safe lane. So you'll see potentially some action here, but it looks like Bambo is just going to retreat. But yeah, I think I slightly favor Yellow Submarine, but it's like 55-45 for the draft. It's very close.
Very close indeed. And talking about the draft, let's have a look who is on what. On the side of the Radiant, on the side of Yellow Submarine, you can have PSM on the Enchantress. Fervian will be playing on the support Earthshaker this time. Barash on his Shadow Fiend yet again. Miposhka this time manning up on the Razor. And finally, it's going to be Dale on the offlane Axe. I'm Odie Pixel, I'm here with Draskell, and it's of course Yellow Submarine versus 4Clovers. What are we seeing over on the side of the Dire, Draskell?
All right, so we got Hani, who's going to be handling Queen of Pain this game. In the river, we're going to have Sexy Bambo trading a little bit here with that Shadow Fiend. Standing next to him is going to be Yol. Oh, Bambo. Going to be forced to wind run away here. Probably will be fine. Miposhka's got boots, but he's not going to continue chasing that out. And also going to see an open wounds here onto Dale as BZZ is auto-attacking it down with Hani. This should be the first blood.
Oh, first blood for your Queen of Pain mid lane. That's a good way to start.
Not bad. Especially against Shadow Fiend. And he's already seen that he has level 1 raise, so... It's very easy to zone a Shadow Fiend with Queen. Like, you just do what he does right now. What a lot of players do, and I know this is probably like sub 4K advice, but don't actually click on the Shadow Fiend in this position because you pull the creeps up, and you don't want to pull the creeps. You want the Shadow Fiend to not hit them, kind of what Hani has done here. So nicely played.
I'm sure Hani will be able to deal with this situation. Looking at the other lanes, so you've got Dale at the moment on his own. Looks like the backup of the Earthshakers coming in to deal with this dual lane. And then finally on the bottom lane, so you've got this off-lane Wind Ranger. And he's going to be able to deal up with the Razor and the potential ganks from the Enchantress. So I guess, is this one of these lanes where we're just going to see both heroes equally farm, or do you feel someone's got kill potential down here?
Well, Bambo is still going to have to play a little bit defensive because he's up against two heroes. If the Enchantress gets like a troll creep, for example, that can be very annoying. Middle lane.
Might be the second kill here for Barash. Oh no, sorry, second kill, sorry, for Hani. Yeah, and Hani finds it. Centaur.
Centaur! The bottle! Oh, he's fine.
So, a very good start for Hani. A minute and a half in, he's found himself 2 kills.
That's a Shadow Fiend, if I've ever seen one.
Oh, I see what he did there.
Yeah, it's not great for him right now. The problem with the Queen snowballing too is, oh, he didn't go 2 points in the dagger. Interesting. Okay, so a lot of Queens opt for double dagger because it means that your trade is almost always going to be better than even the Shadow Fiend, unless he lands like a double raise. But typically, if you're going to all in, you just blink on top of the hero, and then you dagger him and you trade that way, because if you run the risk of getting like double or maybe even triple raise. But if you blink into him and just hit him, then he has to sit there and auto-attack you back. And if he starts to run, then you just follow him. So, bit of preference play here from Hani. Oh, he did get the second point of dagger. He just got it at level 4. That's so bizarre. I wonder why he did that. But he gets a regen anyway, so he's living the dream.
Yeah, indeed, regen. I mean, the Shadow Fiend is still finding the CS in the mid lane, 8 for 0 against Hani, 7 for 2. But yeah, you got to bear in mind the fact that Hani has found those 2 kills.
I realize why he did it now.
Okay.
I didn't see it at first, but I think it was because when he all-ined Barash, he wanted the extra burst damage for diving the tower. That would actually make sense.
All right. Hani returns to the lane, gets the dagger out, continues the harassment. And looking at our 2 kind of cores on both these, both the sides of the map, obviously on the side of the Radiant at the top lane, Dale at the moment, he's found himself a better CS, 6 CS at the moment. He's getting fairly harassed by the Yol and BZZ combination. And down in your bottom lane, Razor finding a fair bit for himself, second on the CS board at the moment. I mean, 2-0 in, we're talking about the fact that both teams have the very kind of active junglers, the Chen and the Enchantress. Who's going to be their targets? Are they going to be looking mainly towards the mid lane, both of them?
Yeah, Goblak wants to gank mid for sure, but on Yellow Submarine, you don't really want to try to gank a queen. You just want to be annoying to the queen to make sure that Hani's not just getting like a free lane. Because as of right now, he's still doing pretty well for himself. Top of the net worth by about 700 top lane though.
Yeah, open wounds there into the Fade Bolt, trying to chase this one down. The Fisher did come out, blocking off BZZ, and it looks like it will be enough to get both of the heroes away safely. On in the mid lane, taking a few raises to his face, keeping Barash in position with the dagger, keeping him held back. And now the bottle's back out to him. Brash will be fine, able to top himself back up. But 2-0 still at the moment, coming up to 4 minutes in. Both Goblak and Enchantress continuing to find the farm in the jungle. It's looking to go a little bit better for Goblak as he does have the level advantage. And he's clearing the creeps up a little bit quicker. Dale getting lifted back, finds a nice cool eye onto a couple of them. We'll get Troll trapped up. BZZ going back in, and with the stun and the zap there from Yol, they do find a kill onto the Axe. So 3-0 now for the side of the Die, and a very nice rotation there from the Chen.
A more standard composition from 4Clover. I mean, Lifestealer is a little bit unconventional, but the rest of their heroes, this is like, oh.
that's a rotation.
Okay. That's a teleporting Shadow Fiend into a Fissure Raise. Okay, so that was a nice kill. Yeah, very well executed. But I really think that 4Clover, they don't need to pick the weird clowny stuff like we saw last game. You know, they can just pick a normal strategy and just outplay their opponent, and I feel like that's what they're aiming to do this game.
Mid lane, Hani going in with the Sonic Wave and the right clicks, but Barash, he finds himself the kill, and with the Fuzz, he's going to be fine.
Your stick! Use your stick! He didn't. He tried though. He actually realized that he wasn't going to win the trade, but I think he panicked, because that stick would have let him live through one more auto attack, and he probably would have killed the Shadow Fiend instead. So, Barash with the luck that Hani decided to grace him with a kill.
Climbing his way back into it, the Shadow Fiend, still at the top of the CS board, and the fact that he's now found 2 kills as well across the map is going to greatly benefit him. Bottom lane is getting to the stage where, well, Maposhka is able to take real control of this lane. He's found 24-13 compared to Bambo there with the 10-4-1 at the moment. Chen now with the arcanes there, but this lane, all in all, going very, very well for the raise down the bottom. Top lane, BCZ getting caught in a call. In comes PSM as well with the right clicks. Hasn't quite hit level 6. Still just a level 4, so can't get in with the slow as well with the rage on the lifesteal activated. Fisher gonna miss there in the mid lane. That was a little bit off there from the old ES.
Unfortunate, but he still refilled Barash's bottle, so I'm sure he's fine with it.
Oh,
bottom lane, the bait. It's a huge bait.
Massive bait. Yol's there with the telekinesis. I mean, but Poshka's got a lot of damage here.
He's gonna kill Yol.
No, the stuns there, and the test of fate, bringing him low enough, nearly brings down Yol, as you said. A little bit messy from 4Clovers, but he gets the job done.
All right, Bambo. That was too much of a bait. Too much, too fancy, too busy. But yeah, they get the kill, almost at the cost of their poor little Rubik. But, I mean, the entire time they've been rotating.
Oh, there's your Fisher, but the actual Berserker's call was popped a little bit earlier. Maybe if Dell kind of hung on there, would have found the kill a little bit. Found the kill a little bit easier. I think they still will find it here as they chase him down.
I don't know. Lifestealer's pretty fast.
Oh, dagger slow onto PSM. Dale with the call onto Hani. Might find the Queen of Pain. Pops his magic one this time. Blink in 7 seconds. Bottles up as well. They did find the Lifestealer there. Earthshaker was able to finish him off. Hani. Just the scream. Has this double damage. Vervian coming in as well. Hasn't got the mana to pop anything. But all in all, good little bit of play there for the Radiant. They find the kill onto the Lifestealer, but they do lose Maposhka here on the bottom lane. Goblak hangs around, will find him. Call onto Hani, Enchant Totem, holding him in place, but a telekinesis there, lifting Dale up. And they've got as well to buff Hani back up in the health department. Yes, with the right click screen, catching both of them. Now open wounds onto Vervian, and Vervian will go down. It's 2 heroes across the map falling here for the Radiant. BZZ trying to chase it down. Blink forward from Hani, under the tower. Dale hasn't got the mana for the Berserker's call, and getting fairly low himself. TP in here from the Shadow Fiend. Does get held by the telekinesis again by Yol. There's pings in the sidelines because Hani's there. 1 raise, 2 raise will bring him down. And yeah, Scream could have almost certainly finished off PSN there.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't know he was there, but if you're gonna die, I mean, even a panic Scream would have actually gotten him an accidental kill. So, unfortunate, he didn't realize it. But you saw how confident Hani was in playing that. Like, he didn't use Blink for probably like 25 seconds, just walking around between the Earthshaker and the Axe, who were both completely out of mana. Like, they couldn't really do much. They had an enchant and a call between the both of them, which obviously wasn't enough to get that. But maybe overplaying a tiny bit, trying to blink into the tower, going completely YOLO. But it just seems so common. Like, this team does that so much. Like, they get so overconfident that they put themselves in a situation where they have no business being in. Like, you just double tower dived to tier 1 when the enemy team had TPs up at 8 minutes in to try to kill a support. Like, that's an overplay.
I mean, it really kind of feels that, yeah, 4Clovers are kind of throwing away the early game, and it was shown there on the graph as well as it wasn't their advantage, but now it's swung back to favour the side of Yellow Submarine. They might find Goblack here as well. I mean, there's an Enchantress and also an Earthshaker. Help count the Shadow Fiend involved as well. There's a Razor also in the sidelines joining in. That's going to be a very easy pick off there onto the Chen. Sexy Bambo will be able to wind run himself back out that one and back to the tab, but that's another kill for Yellow Submarine, and 5-6 on the board now. It is looking better and better for the side, and Shadow Fiend Barash maintaining the top of the net worth, but all in all a bit of a repeat of the last game in the sense that still the top 3 net worth on the side of the Dire following the Shadow Fiend, of course favouring the side of 4Clovers, but the push now coming onto the tower, tier 1 here on the bottom lane. They'll do what they can in terms of damage, and Harney prepping the mid lane, continuing to find his farm, but 5-6, 9 minutes in. Yellow Submarine doing pretty well after an initial pretty bad few minutes that came out from the side.
And Barash has been the pillar, as Shane said during the between game analysis, is that he's been very consistent, right? So he's top of the net worth again. He's got his mech and 100 gold. It's only 9.5 minutes in, and that's after he even died mid and had to play up against a queen with first blood gold. Like, that is a nightmare for a Shadow Fiend. Now, luckily, he's one of those heroes who can always recover, and we saw just that. Is now top lane.
I'm going in with the open wounds here onto Dale. Fisher did come out, but he got dodged by the Rays. Dale will choose to just TP and will get away. Bosch gets static linking Harney, but Harney just blinks away. So no one to die in this engagement. Both teams being able to disengage themselves safely.
I'm really curious as to how this is going to play out now, because the Lifestealer has gotten an okay amount of farm, but the Axe is kind of keeping up. So I would say once the Blink Daggers come out from Yellow Submarine, 4Clover may have been looking for more during their laning phase, and they've actually gotten. And I think those double blinks, they're going to have such a gigantic impact on this game. Like, Dale, he might not have played a good Nyx, but we've seen his Axe before, and it's not bad. So if he can make the plays...
Fisher catching BZZ, Barash waltzing in with an Invis rune.
Nope.
Oh, nah, they're going to be a little bit short there with the race. Won't be able to pursue it any further. Goblack is coming into towards the lane here on the Chen. Standard Sentry makes sure that the Radiant aren't aware of his presence. There won't be indeed no Radiant vision in this part of the map. Radiant structures being fortified as the pressure's on in the mid lane and also on the bottom lane as Wind Ranger continues to push it down and might be able to find this with the focus fire. Looks like he will. Get himself a tier 1 potential. I know PSM comes in. Scam off with the impetus. Top lane, Fisher into the old plasma. That is going to be able to bring down the Rubik. Harney's come into the middle of it all. Will be able to blink out. That doesn't want to hang around anytime soon. Goblack is there with the wraparound.
Oh, God.
Okay.
They didn't see the creep, I don't think.
Can
we get Radiant Vision?
No, they see the Centaur. They see the Centaur coming in.
Oh, they do, okay.
Yeah. Right.
Damn.
Okay. Earthshaker. He's not got the Fisher back off cooldown, has he? Yeah, well, let's look at the ES. Well, they're going to have to throw this
5 seconds.
5 seconds for the Earthshaker Fisher. Let's see what Goblack can do with this rotation. Shadow Fiend does have the mech, will pop it straight away, so it's going to be a fairly tanky team to go up against. Throws one raise down. We'll get stood up by the Centaurs. Goblack is going to get his damage stolen here with the static link, and well, with the punches, pops that hand of God. It's not going to be enough to keep him alive. He will go down. Harney's come back into this. Echo Slam holding in place. They do find the call as well. This is fantastic play there from the side of the Radiant. That's going to be the Queen of Pain going down as well to the dung. 2 heroes, 3 heroes falling. In fact, bottom lane, the Wind Ranger goes down as well to PSM. So all in all, very nice there for the side of Yellow Submarine.
So Slasher and I both were thinking that it would be a 2-0 in favor of 4Clover, and they win the first game. And then Slasher and I also both said that 4Clover should win the next 2 games. But Yellow Submarine just refused to let either of us be right and are just proving that the last game was not a fluke.
It certainly seems to be feeling that way so far. 12 minutes in. Yellow Submarine certainly playing, well, at the least at the same level as 4Clovers, and evidently at the moment just a little bit of kind of outplaying them in certain situations. I mean, that looked to be, I mean, maybe an optimistic kind of gank there and shut down from Goblack. Maybe didn't anticipate for the fact that the mech was available, but I don't know. All in all, wasn't even able to tickle the side of the Radiant, and 9-6 at the moment for the side of Yellow Submarine. Looking very strong against Harney's team, and now 12 minutes in with a lead coming up to about 5,000 in terms of net worth and about 3,000 in terms of XP.
I'm really surprised that they've managed to take this substantial of a lead in an early game that probably should have been favoring 4Clover, at least with how active they wanted to be on the map. But
I should blink on Axe now.
Yeah, the biggest issue now is the blinks. Like, the Earthshaker is only at 100 or so gold because he bought his Tranquils. He had around 800 before he decided to buy that item. Barash is still farming great, highest on the net worth by 2.3 thousand. He can work his way towards his SNY. He can go for BKB. Doesn't really matter what his choice is. I mean, last game he played great. So I think between the Shadow Fiend being so consistent and now a Blink Dagger being available on their Initiator, like they're going to get caught off guard by at least one Blink. Because I don't think Dale has actually shown himself in Vision yet. Or no, wait, he walked by the bottom ward. But did they see that he had Blink? That's the biggest question. Or no, did he TP? I think he TP'd.
I think he TP'd, didn't he?
Yeah, he did TP.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now he walks by the ward. So if they ping it out, yeah, there it is. Goblin saw it. Okay.
There's your Blink Dagger.
So now they know.
I mean, so Lifestealer, he has managed to pick up a Midas now at this point of the game. But I mean, in terms of the lineup that Yellow Submarine have they got the capability to kind of shut down his farm?
Oh yeah, they can take all the other 2 towers. Not a problem. I mean, you got a mech Shadow Fiend. You got Razor as well, who I think Miposhka is also opting for a mech. Shaker almost being brought to the high ground there, but not quite.
Well, going for Roshan.
But they need to fight this for sure.
BZZ and Goblak on the high ground at the moment. There is backup from the Quap, staying by the secret shop. Also Wind Ranger coming down for this one as well. Got the full lineup. It's at half health at the moment. PSM tanking it up with the Untouchable. Double damage to Barash, doing a lot of work. Nice fish onto 3. Oh, that's a big... Oh, the Blink call into the Echo Slam. 2 heroes deleted, make that 3. Mech is popped. The Sonic Wave isn't going to do an awful lot after the mech comes out. And what an initiation. That, even though they knew he had the Blink, that is the way you enter the game with a Blink Dagger on the mats.
Oh man, they had no vision. Like the sentry was dropped in the river, right? So the Shadow Fiend also had an Invis rune. So he used Invis inside of the pit, walked out knowing the sentry was down, and that there was no way that they would have been able to counter-initiate. And Dale just gets the biggest Blink call of his life. And the fight is just over at that point. There's no way they can come back from a 3-man initiation like that, especially when the Chen is one of the heroes who gets caught. Because instead of being able to hand a god and maybe keep the heroes alive long enough to be able to have some kind of counterplay, he doesn't get his spell off and he just flops over.
I mean,
that was a disaster.
Now they've got this fight, it kind of feels that, I mean, if they try and defend a tower, Dale's just going to Blink call them. And then the follow-up's going to be there. It's just going to be so hard for 4Clovers to stop these tier 2s going down.
I don't think they can fight for now. They're going to have to wait for an opportunity to defend like high ground, or at the very least wait until Barash's Aegis disappears. Fighting into them right now, oh god, Bambo.
Yeah, Blink call, Fisher to follow up, looks for a dunk, but he's already dead, the Wind Ranger.
Yeah.
And they find the tier 2.
Yeah.
15.5 minutes in, and they don't want to go for more tier 2s, they want to maybe try and push for the high ground here. And
this is a really good chance.
They can get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, they have the mech up on the Shadow Fiend still. He hasn't had to use it. I mean, they don't kill the base very fast, but that doesn't matter if the enemy team cannot fight you. Like, what is a Lifestealer going to do with only Midas Treads?
And let's go back. I mean, they could just... Oh, the cool Blink call's actually messed up there. He calls no one.
Yeah, it's okay, though. They're still going to get the tier 3.
It was a zoning call. The ult gets Frozen Fade Ball out, but...
Dude, they're going to lose Rax.
16 minutes in, Draskell. I mean, it's... Oh... It's going to be a pause.
Strategy pause.
Strategy pause. Right, boys. So, we screwed up. What do we do now? I mean, what do they do now?
They screwed up big time. Yeah. The fact that Bambo is the one who died bottom kind of hurts because he's one of the only heroes on their team who has real D-push, and he doesn't have to put himself in a bad position to do it. So Power Shot has ridiculous range. And Fade Bolt's pretty far, but you could potentially still get called if you do that. So with Bambo dead, there's no way for 4Clover to kill the creep wave anymore, which is probably why they decided to go high ground, just in the fact that they don't have the D-push that they need anymore. And the Queen has to do the same thing. She has to put herself so close to kill the creeps that an Axe Call can just jump her, and then she dies too. So yeah, I think 4Clover in some serious trouble right now, and honestly, they're going to get the range racks, like 100%. I don't know if they'll get melee, because Bambo's going to be alive for the defense, but hopefully Hani's PC issues or whatever is afflicting him is resolved soon.
I mean, what's the graph looking like? It must be...
It's like 7,500 towards 10,000 gold in favor of Yellow Submarine.
16 minutes in.
16 minutes in, and the experience is pretty close to 7,500 as well.
I mean, comeback potential for 4Clovers, is it there in their draft, or?
It's kind of hard with a Chen. Like, playing a Chen from behind is probably the worst case scenario, I think. Like, the hero is built around being able to control the game. So when you're not controlling the game, your hero is like dead weight, more or less. It's kind of how I feel about the Razor in the last game. And it's not to say that he's played badly. It's just that when you have one catastrophe of a team fight around the Roshan pit, like, Goblak walked his creeps into the pit. 2 of them died. He stole one of the Enchantress creeps from the Enchantress, right? So he still had 2 left.
Yeah.
And then everything just gets called in the little choke point because Dale had very good positioning. And they had no vision. So they fought into a suboptimal situation in the beginning anyway. And even if that call hadn't hit 3, the Shadow Fiend still had invis and they still didn't have a way of seeing him. So I think even if that call hadn't landed in that particular way, a Requiem could have easily done the same amount of damage. So here we go.
Here we go. The
push
game's on
continues.
pause. Let's see how they can hold on to this push. They're onto the Rex now. Can 4Clovers do anything to stop this aggression? Sexy Bambo coming in.
What? Hello?
Bambo.
He was not here.
Bambo.
There's no way he's here.
Come on, sir. That was well, okay, he's dead. Dale goes in. Fish has been thrown out. Miposhka looking for a static link. There's your return vision from Yol. Harney blinks in. Hand of God comes out. Miposhka getting low. We'll get telekinesis up now. And there's your blink call from Dale. Catches out Harney with the impetus damage as well. And the dunk. That's your Queen of Pain dead. BZT turns up to the fight, but he's got nothing to show for it here. 1 punch, 2 punch. He's dead.
Is this just GG?
What is Boo-Boo?
Is this just GG?
I mean,
Like,
Draskell.
Yep, there it is. GG.
Yeah,
Well played.
You did say at the end of the first game, if you were 4Clovers, you'd be tilting after that.
I would be tilting if that happened to me, and now I would be even more tilted because I just lost a 16-minute game.